Well, I think first off, I think Verhoeven in one of his interviews, he chats about how he considers Robocop to be American Jesus, right? And so there's this beautiful moment that I didn't notice up until like my last watch, which is when he's getting shot. The first thing that happens is they shoot off his hand, right?
Mhm.
So immediately he's going crucifixion style out in this big, bold way. And they're
And Verhoeven is, I don't remember exactly what sector, whatever he's connected to, but I think he's part of some kind of um, a big sort of Christian organization, and he write a book on Jesus of Nazareth as well, I think?
I don't know.
Well, you guys can Google that on Wikipedia or whatever. There was this interesting connection between Verhoeven's Christianity and faith and some of his later projects and what he's talking about here.
Yeah. So what you're looking at then is he's getting, on a cross, right? And then later in the movie, they have him literally walk on water, right? To kill the big baddie, right? So it's like a fascinating piece of it. But then when I look at, you know, RoboCop from just the perspective of what's the message that's being attempted to be told to us. You're in this interesting neo-totalitarian state. And to your point, you don't know that much about what OCP does, but what you do realize is they're privatizing what are public, constructs. These are institutions, right? So police are being privatized in their entirety, and they're trying to bring in these machines to do that job, right? And they're in this space and place of saying, hey, now that we own the police and we're the ones that essentially govern it, what are we doing here and how do we do it to the best of our ability? And so they create this bot, right? And the initial scene, which is like one of the most interesting and bloodiest scenes, they're in the main megacorp office for OCP and they just murder one of the peon, managers that are at this table, right? And no one blinks an eye. And so there's like a very interesting moment of this where you're going, wow, no one cares. They come in, they're like, oh, it was his day anyway, right? Everyone just watched this person get murdered. So to your point about that hyper real, that's there. But the undercurrent, and this goes to the satire of it, is obviously this is like way out of bounds for a regular occurrence in a board meeting, but you accept it. Even in that moment, you sort of accept the way that they callously just overlook, oh, this guy's gone. And, the two, the chairman and like the president of this company are having a conversation about like, you should have, this is going to be really challenging for us to open with this thing in 6 months if it's not working right. Right. So they don't care about the person. And that's a big part. Dehumanization of people in this space is important. But the thing that is interesting that I find to be the most uh, curious about is the subtext of what's occurring, which is around this what else is privatized in this world? And when I look at that and make sort of a tangential line to what's happening to us here today, you have the Trump administration running on Doge, right? And especially as you see it defund different things like USAID, et cetera, you're seeing some of those same constructs of it's not necessarily that they're exactly the same, right? But you're seeing some of the same constructs now in and
Oh,
shaped
yeah, no.
by